So one thing Donald Trump wants more than anything is to get out and get away from the Jeffrey Epstein files. And unfortunately, they're not going away anytime soon. His base wants them released, like 80% of the country plus wants these files released, and they want to know whose names are connected to Jeffrey Epstein. Well, end of last week, Donald Trump comes out and tells Attorney General Pam Bondi to unseal the grand jury transcripts. And I said at the time, this is probably not going to be as easy as it sounds, and we may not know, what all the government knows, because the grand jury transcripts don't contain everything. Well, two separate judges yesterday ruled that the initial filings by the federal government were inadequate. Now, this doesn't mean that the transcripts would not be released, but these are in relation to grand juries for both Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, both judges' rulings are similarly worded, but in effect, what they said is they needed more information. First of all, they needed to make sure that the DOJ had, and the attorneys that were requesting them to be unsealed had read through what was in the transcript so they knew what they were asking to be released. And then were the victims of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell notified that these documents were going to be released, including their testimony. And beyond that, Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney, because this does potentially involve her appeal, is going to have a chance to file a motion on this. Well, the DOJ has been given a week to fix the filing, basically, and provide the rest of the required information. And then Ghislaine Maxwell has until early August to release or to put in her filing about whether it should be released, whether it's going to affect her appeal, things like that. So we are a ways away from these being released. It's not going to be as cut and dry as just releasing them, because there is a process. Now, like I said, even if they get released, these are not going to be the complete list of evidence. All grand juries are there to do is there enough evidence that this person should be taken to trial? That's all they were trying to determine. And that's what happened here. There is a bunch of evidence from both sides of the case that is not included. The defense does not put any evidence into a grand jury testimony. This is all about whether or not it should go to trial. Now, we will see how this ultimately resolves, but it's not going to be happening for a couple of weeks. Donald Trump just is going to have to hope that this buys him enough time and takes some of the heat off. I don't think it will, but he's trying to deflect, and it's not working.